Happy Saturday. Just wanted to do a quick video. I've not felt compelled to do one for ages actually, and yeah, I can feel lots coming through again, but especially over this last week and compounding yesterday with the bombshell that Trump's got freaking COVID. So yeah, and it's all the mask shit again, isn't it? And I was wondering when the next sort of play would be and how it would be engineered again, so that people please each other using social shame as the weapon. And it started increasing last week, I noticed, and the changeover here is that now shopkeepers have to wear masks. So whereas before it would be like, because I don't go anywhere but the fucking supermarket to get some food. I just don't. I didn't before anyway, so I care none about any of this infringement on anything else personally yet. You know, I'm just sort of protesting. It's like, oh, well, whatever. Not bothered. But I do need to get food, so supermarket. And so for months, it's not bothered me. I'm just like, I kind of felt like no one would ask me why I wasn't wearing a mask anyway, for a few different reasons. But, you know, it's like, yeah, I wouldn't ask myself. If I saw myself walking around, I wouldn't ask myself to put one on. But anyway, but recently in this last week, the kid's dad has been asked a few times. I know people at school that have been asked a few times. And I was in the supermarket the other day and somebody in front of me was getting asked to put one on next time, and that he should know better. They said he should know better. And, you know, it was said in a jocular manner, but it's like, no, you all should know better. You know, everybody should just take a step back and just have a little think about what's cracking here. It's like, so the news that I've seen, and again, all news is propaganda, and all sides are a side in the duality, a participant in the carnival, and so we can only sort of watch and laugh and train ourselves not to get too entrenched in either one side, you know. But yeah, what happened yesterday was just vile, you know, just a lot of hatred again, and sort of like ha 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 revenge sort of vitriol energy from so much of the world towards Trump because he's been tested positive for COVID. And yeah, and I'm just like, God, how far we are away from our humanity, and just again just highlighting the hypocrisy of humanity. And I'm not up and out of this, you know, I'm never like saying do. It's like I'm just talking about how people are, me, every, you know, how we come to how we are, you know, the human condition. But we're just always waiting to blame and point fingers at somebody else, and it's really pretty disgusting, you know. I don't wish anybody dead. I wish that people would get have to be held accountable, you know, for what they do, and that justice was an actual thing. And, you know, I'm positive for better things to come in the future. But, you know, after opening my eyes and magnifying certain things throughout my awakening, just realising how history is a lie and all news is propaganda, and history, and, you know, it's all just fabrications, and again, not all of it with a malice aforethought and sinister intention, sometimes just willful ignorance and individual tunnel vision in your part in the system. So yeah, but I just can't believe how many people yesterday were just like, serves him right and all that, and I'm just like, God, guys, let's just chill out for a start. And then, you know, they've used, obviously, there's all the narrative about how dangerous he's been, how this serves him right because it, you know, he's not been taking it seriously, he's not been wearing his little gimp mask, and he's been, you know, irresponsible, and this shows him the severity of it. And it's like, no, it doesn't. Like, have we not ascertained from the start that the tests are bullshit, and fruits and animals and walls test positive for it, you know? And it's like 99.9% of people will not die from it. But no, it's been used, you know, to make Trump look like, you know, whatever it is they want to paint him out to be today. And I know it's a game and they're all puppets and it's working on both sides, but for me, it's nothing to do with the puppets. It's how the puppet show makes the people react, you know. the group mentality, the hive mind, the society. And yeah, so it's pretty disgusting. And I was laughing the other day thinking about the part in The Mask with Jim Carrey where he's like, we all wear masks, metaphorically speaking. And it seems like the ones of us that don't want to wear a mask and can't wear a mask because it's an affront on the soul, it's because we've spent years or months or lifetimes shedding the masks and the egos, cutting through the bullshit. And it seems that, you know, a huge proportion of the population just want to make their masks thicker to hide behind and throw their dirt from. So, yeah, so I guess it's, again, a time for responsible, I guess it's like, I'm always thinking sort of like gameplay is like energetically. It's like, I don't want to go into anywhere, a supermarket or anywhere with this revenge or, you know, ready to snap energy. And I noticed that what I was thinking about when I was in the shops the other day is going in my head, what am I going to say if somebody asks me? Because I was a little bit more nervous than I usually would be. And I've got these lies, you know, that are sort of coming to the forefront that are like pre-prepared. And that annoys me. I'm thinking to myself, for one, why should I have to lie? I don't want to wear a mask for a fucking myriad of reasons. And if you want to take me in your staff room, I'll explain it to you the best I can. It might take me a few hours. But I don't want to have to lie, you know. It's like I have got asthma, or I did as a kid, so that's a genuine reason, you know, to be exempt. But I don't want to lie and say I've got an exemption. It's like, no, I choose not to wear one. If you don't want to serve me, fine, I'll go somewhere else, you know. But I don't want to have the lies pre-prepared, but the ramping and amping it up. And so along with Trump, how else they've used this in the last 24, 48 hours over here. Oops, double denim. It's a mistake, innit? There's a Scottish MP over here as well who's been thrown on the witch fire or whatever, because she came down to Parliament not feeling very well, got COVID, well, tested positive for it, and then went back to her home in Scotland on the train. And all these old men yesterday, they were loving it, you know, sort of saying how she really needs to reflect on what she's done, the damage that she's done and the danger that she's caused to people, all the people she's put at risk. And I'm sat there, and of course I don't like it when politicians take the piss, but we're all just people who should stand by our own morals. And I was thinking, you know, from a not too long ago perspective, that type of thing would have been applauded. You know, it's like, I've got the sniffles, feel all right, I'm going to go to work. That's all she did. But now they've used it as an excuse to say how dangerous she is and how, you know, how horrendous she's been by putting all these people at risk of a mild flu that 99.9% of people will survive. That's what they keep failing to add on. So obviously they're politicising everything, and it's sometimes it's fun to see, but it's not, because in 2020, unfortunately, this is affecting the reality that we're all sharing, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just saying it just to be aware of, and I just wanted to make a little note of, for me, or if my kids watch this when they're older, or, you know, whoever, my kids know why I won't wear a mask. I've been trying to say shit for weeks, you know, without. But it's like, yeah, my soul will not have it. That is death. Hand over breathing apparatus, nostrils and mouth. Like, quite often, I'm not the best at breathing anyway, you know. I'm always holding my breath, and I quite often breathe through my nose. I don't want my nose covering at the same time as my mouth. I won't have my nose and mouth covered. And yeah, and that's it. It's the breath, it's the spirit. My soul is uncomfortable, and so no, I'm not going to go along with it. But what a shame that people can't even think about that. It's like they immediately think that you're a dangerous COVID-idiot. So, and obviously we knew this was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. It's just, it's so disgusting to always see it unfolding, isn't it? In the way that you expect. So, I don't really know what's going to happen. I really hope that, you know, Trump does a video today and, you know, he's sort of like not downplaying it, but being honest about it. You know, I'm all right. Fuck's sake. No one's dying. But who knows? But yeah, the mask assault is up to notch. And again, I don't think I or anybody else should be telling anybody else what to do. It's like every decision at a time. But yeah, the game's getting stickier, but at the same time, you know, it's like, yeah, it's super interesting. While I'm here, actually, I'm just going to have a little tiny ramble about the other shit that's been on my mind. And it's astrology. And so I've been listening to Levette for a while, on and off, and I get different things from Levette. 1111, like, yeah, it's like I don't listen to Levette